Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM. It comes in a 135 scale and it copies Unimog S404. So it's a German military truck, quite famous, and in 135 scale it should be an interesting build. You can see that kit number is 35135. We have a commercial sample here, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you will see in this video review. So first of all, box size is standard for this brand. Here you can see comparison with my hand. We have quite nice box art as well, and here on the side we have some information about the kit. So it's quite small font, but I can see that there are 250 parts, and assembled vehicle will be just 143 millimeters long, so not that big. And here on the opposite side you can see two marking options which are included, but I hope that there are more because it's a 135 scale. It's not that difficult to include more in my opinion. And it would be strange if ICM did not use this opportunity, but as I said, we will see it when we will be checking the assembly manual, where usually they bring all the marking guides for these options. So let's open it right now. I'm cutting through the seals which are recently became standard for ICM, and if you don't have the seals, it means somebody opened box before you, so it would be a wise idea to check everything before the actual purchase, maybe. Of course, if you have a chance to check it. So, as you can see, box structure is standard for ICM. It's a flexible top cover, and then we have the sturdy white cardboard box, which actually protects all the components. And if I open it, here is what we have inside. So it's quite a tight packaging, to be honest, because ICM has a bit thicker format of the box, but here they decided to use this one. And for the components, so they're packed into a resealable plastic bag. I'm going to remove them right now, and I will show you what we are actually getting here. So let's start with plastic, and I think, well, I wanted to hold off one interesting part, but I think this sprue will actually tell you what it is, because here we get the vinyl tires, and yes, it is somewhat surprising to get it in this kit. Frankly speaking, I was expecting that ICM will actually use the plastic wheels, but especially when they introduced some of their recent kits with plastic wheels, but here they decided to go with the vinyl tires. So here you can see, for example, the wheel rims, and then I move this sprue aside to show you the vinyl tire. So here it is. It's a tire for the spare wheel, that's why it's coming as a single. The tires for the actual wheels, they are coming as a double. But as you can see, it's more or less fine part for out-of-the-box build for the standard package. But if you want to get something more impressive, definitely go for a resin upgrade, which will cost more, but it will actually add some extra details to your model. Next, we continue with a bigger sprue. So if I zoom out here, you can see the main chassis bars. You can also see engine parts, gearbox, radiator grille. Here we have also the windscreen frame, which is molded separately from the transparent parts. And this is actually a good thing because you can paint it separately and then just insert the clear parts. And note that roof is actually provided in two versions. So here we have the closed roof. So it's quite interesting that ICM should have included two assembly options, but we will see it further in the video review, because frankly speaking, I do not see the folded roof version yet, but maybe it will be on the next sprues. But here you can take a closer look at the all of these parts. We have also wheel axles, we have some parts for the front cap, and everything looks fine in my opinion. Let's flip it over out of curiosity, because here, for example, for the engine parts we have guiding pins, and the same goes for the front cap parts, because they are molded as a separate panels, as you remember, so it's good to have something what will be helpful with alignment. Next, we continue with another plastic sprue. So here we have more panels for the front cap. For example, this face mask, as you can see, it's molded together with a sign of quite famous car manufacturer. I guess there is no need to mention that this is a Mercedes. Here we continue also with some floor panels for the front cap. We have some mud guards, wheel fenders. All of this stuff looks actually good. And let's not forget that we get it in 135 scale, so that's why this one-piece exhaust with all the piping it looks really good. And of course, all these thin parts, it will be requiring some special tools, but I don't think it's a huge problem for experienced modelers, so definitely not an issue for us. And next we continue with a clear sprue. It's packed into a separate plastic bag. And here we have the glasses and lenses for the front cap, obviously, so here you can take a closer look. I really hope that ICM included the masks template, because otherwise you have to cover all these headlamps by yourself, but well, what you can do. In some other kits, they don't even bother including masks or mask templates in any of their kits, right? Next, we continue with a bigger or the biggest plastic sprue. Here you can see a mix of various parts, and it's actually, I would say, quite an interesting mix, because here you will find, for example, the rear view mirrors, and note that they're molded together with their supporting frames, which is quite interesting. And we have two types of the mirrors. Steering wheel is here. We have various racks for the fuel tank, I guess. We also have some parts for the engine. We have front and rear bumpers. Here we have more of the suspension parts. And frankly speaking, I'm really surprised on what is actually going inside of this kit, because as you can see, a lot of things are copied out of the box. So there is not that much of the space to add something. Maybe wiring will be a good idea to copy on such model, because it will be visible on the model, but again, it's a good idea to find some nice references, photos or maybe videos, so that you can replicate it properly. And here is the final gray plastic sprue. As you can see, it is dedicated to rear section parts, rear bed. As you can see, it should be glued out of separate panels. Wood does not have a texture, so if you would like to replicate it, you will have to do it with your own hands and tools. I really like here that we have some really interesting surface details, and all this comes out of the box. Maybe it would be a wise idea to bring them out with help of shading magic, let's say, because it will get all the details even more noticeable appearance. But next we have also the decals sheet for this kit. And here we have all the necessary symbols for several marking options. As you remember, printing quality looks fine, so it's just a matter of careful application and you'll be good to go. And of course, the assembly manual. We are coming to the most interesting part, of course, because it will show us how this model is designed. So on the first page we have a short history note and some technical specifications. Next we continue with the parts map. So here red cover should mean that parts are not used, but as you can see, pretty much everything will be used. An assembly process starts with the main chassis, but there are some different parts which you should choose depending on the marking option, and as far as I can see, there should be 4 markings actually. Next we continue with suspension parts, various side racks. Here we assemble the drivetrain, it means engine and gearbox. Then we continue with exhaust and fuel tanks, and then we start working on the wheel axles, which are installed one by one as far as you can see, brake drums, various steering elements. And also here you can see more of the thin parts for the suspension. And actually it's really surprising detailing for such kit. I mean, usually out of the box we do not expect that much, but note how many details are actually copied by ICM. And it's not only related to the suspension, it is also related to the front cap. As you can see, a lot of minor things are copied. And here you can see the separate bonnet, so maybe there will be a possibility to open it and expose the engine. Next we continue with the driver and passenger seat, separate doors as you remember, even though manufacturer does not show that you can open them, but it might be a good idea if you want to use this truck for some diorama project or maybe just to show the interior. Next we continue with various minor items for the windscreen and doors. We also installed the rear wall, roof panel, rear bed here. And next we continue with the fuel drums, jerry cans I mean, and here we install it onto the main chassis. We also assemble the spare wheel and get it onto the model. And steering wheel is already inside. I can see the license plate here. The front headlights guards. 2 types of mirrors you choose depending on the marking option, as I said before, screen wipers, and that's pretty much all. So 103 steps to do. Here we have first marking option in a green color. Next we continue with 2 more in the same color, and here is another one in a camouflaged paint option, and that should be quite interesting. Ooh, it's quite a huge thunder outside. Nevertheless, this kit should be already available and you can get it in my Dynamics webshop. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.